This is a story about Little Cub Luka and family harmony. Once upon a time, in the forest, in a big, cozy den, lived a family of bears. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and their small son, Little Cub Luka. Little Luka was very kind and very affectionate. He loved his mama and papa very much, and he enjoyed spending time with them, playing, running, and wandering through the woods. In the evenings, all three of them settled by the fire to chat, and Mama read aloud from a big book of fairy tales. Mama and Papa would take turns leaving for work or running errands, and they didn't always get home on time. When one of them was late, the others stayed home with Luka. Together, they made dinner, set the table, and then happily greeted the other parent when he or she came home. Gradually, Papa Bear began to come home from work later and later. Mama Bear tried to keep things happy at home, but she began to worry. She was sad, and Luka could tell. One day, the little cub lay in his crib and waited for Papa to come home. Suddenly, the window swung open and a gust of cold wind swirled in around his head. For some reason, Luka felt anxious and sad. He quietly went into the kitchen to get some water and overheard the raised voices of his parents. Mama and Papa were talking loudly, almost shouting at one another. But the strangest part was that right in his ear, he heard a squeaky, unpleasant little voice. "This is all because of you! Mama and Papa are arguing, and it's your fault. You're terrible. If you were good, your parents wouldn't be fighting." Luka froze. He felt sick and ashamed. He very much wanted for someone to say that it wasn't true, but he was afraid to speak. He didn't want to upset Mama and Papa even more. Mama Bear quickly noticed that Luka was feeling bad. She asked him tenderly, "What's wrong, sweetheart?" But Luka said nothing. He was just quiet and sad. Mama understood. She and Papa would have to work together to help. "You know," she said after Papa had come home, "something's up with Luka." "What's wrong?" Papa asked tiredly. "He's sad. It's as if he's withdrawn into himself, and I can't get through to him." "Did you ask what happened?" "Yes, of course I asked him, and he said everything's fine, but I could see that it wasn't, and there were tears in her eyes." "Don't cry, love," said Papa, hugging Mama. "We'll figure it out somehow. Let's phone someone for help tomorrow." "Yes, let's," nodded Mama, wiping her tears. The next evening, Papa wasn't alone when he came home. With him was wise Auntie Owl, the forest's doctor and advisor whom everyone respected. She always spoke only true and wise words, helping solve the most difficult problems. "Good evening," she said warmly to Luka, and then she leaned over to him quietly and whispered, "Tell me, has a strange wind flown by you, perhaps?" Luka was surprised. How could she know that? "Don't be afraid," Auntie Owl softly smiled. "These are just tricks an evil wizard plays. He can bewitch the wind, and then the wind flies to children and whispers to them that their parents don't love them." Luka's eyes opened wide. "But I know how to set it right," Auntie Owl went on. "When you next hear that voice, immediately say out loud, 'I love Mama and Papa very much, and they love me too.'" "Of course, I'll say that," answered Luka with hope in his voice. And indeed, the wind returned in the night, and the voice once again tried to whisper absurdly to Luka that he was to blame. But the little cub firmly and loudly said, "I love Mama and Papa very much, and they love me too." And, wonder of wonders, the voice immediately disappeared, as if frightened away by his words. The next morning, Luka told his parents what had happened. He hugged his Mama and Papa and repeated the words. "We love you too," said his parents, "and we will try to argue less. After all, we are a family." And Luka once again felt cheerful. After all, he had the most loving and lovable parents in the world.